Thing that we want to talk about is our food and accommodation, and we were really excited to just eat street food for really cheap. I really like chicken adobo, but the one that I had when I visited the first time, I couldn't find that same flavor again. So I don't know, what did you think about it?
I think I was a little bit disappointed because both of us, the first time we both went, for some reason we had really good Filipino food and we had a hard time finding that same experience again. I think because we were in a lot of touristy areas, they were not very authentic, and then when we got tired of eating kind of poor versions of the Filipino food we liked, we would go to Western restaurants, and they were not good Western restaurants. So we were disappointed by food a lot.
I would have to agree. I was kind of disappointed in the food overall.
For the most part, it wasn't bad food. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't as great as we thought it would be. It was kind of always so-so.
And I love Filipino food. When I went the first time, that's all I ate, and it was so delicious. But we just couldn't find it again like that.
The big exception being the shakes. We had shakes every day, sometimes multiple times a day, and they were amazing.
Every time they were amazing because it's so hot and it's just like mango, and
it's cold and it's fresh and refreshing.
Mango, that is one thing that I really enjoyed while we were there. Fresh mango.
Accommodations.
We were definitely staying in the cheapest places that we can find on this trip because we're trying to stretch out our money as long as we can. So we're not staying in hotels, we're staying in pensions, guest house, hostels.
The accommodation is a little more expensive in the Philippines than it is in the typical backpacker route. So we were wanting to pay about $5 to $10 a night. In the Philippines we paid between 5 and 20, usually, between 10 and 20. Usually about $14 a night. I think.
Which is way over our budget.
When we went to Palawan, we got really lucky when we landed in El Nido. Our trike driver, we told him we wanted to go to a hostel or someplace to stay, and we didn't want to spend much money, and he really nicely didn't rip us off at all, took us to a place, and it was pretty good for the price. We ended up paying, we kind of bargained with them because we wanted to stay there a long time, and we got it for like $4 or $5 a night.
Yeah, that worked out.
It was fan, but you really don't want to pay for aircon in El Nido since the power runs out all the time. And the people were nice, and it was just, it was a really safe place and structurally safe, which is something you have to think about in Southeast Asia. It was like a really sturdy place.
Yeah, everything was like thick.
Yeah.
The wood was just solid.
Solid carpentry going on. It's
perfect.
Weird the things you have to think about. But it was made well.
Yep, it was. Usually the places that we stay at, we don't really know what we're getting ourselves into, and when we go check them out, we just want somewhere clean, but everywhere we stay out there are ants or some sort of bugs or something, which doesn't mean it's dirty. That's just normal here. And Wi-Fi is
spotty.
Usually not happening. The next thing we want to talk about are highlights of our trip. Things that kind of just stood out to us. Just beautiful. The whole country is just, everywhere you look, every angle you get with your camera, it's just beautiful. The people are so friendly, and
the water was my favorite. So clean and clear, and you can see, it seems like you can see for miles when you're underwater. The beaches were beautiful. The people are nice
and speak English. That is something that we do not get in Korea. So we were excited to be able to have conversations with people. I think our activities that we did too everything we did was really cool, and we enjoyed it a lot.
Lots of swimming and beach time. I really liked that.
Yeah, definitely a lot of beach time. Things that surprised us, I think our number one thing, we both will probably agree on this, is that it's more expensive than we would like it to be.
Yeah, during our research going into it, we'd heard it was more expensive, but I didn't believe it because I'd been to the Philippines before and thought it was really cheap. But there's a big difference between going on a 1 or 2 week vacation and like going backpacking long term.
To wrap up our video, we want to pick one in the Philippines. If you could go back and you could only go to one place in the Philippines, where would you go?
I can't pick one specific city, but I can pick an island.
Okay, that's fair enough.
I would like to go back to Cebu because there are 2 little islands that we had wanted to go to, but we didn't have time for. We wanted to go to Apo Island to see the turtles, and we had wanted to check out Siquijor if we could, and we just didn't have time. So I'd like to go back and see that.
I think I would have to pick Cebu too, because when I went, I couldn't do anything. So I would want to go back so I could experience Kawasan Falls and the waterfalls, but overall we loved it. We loved the Philippines.
We missed it already, but new adventures await.
All right, we'll check in with you later.